Today, I'd like to introduce you a paper from the magazine Mutilmodal Transportation. It's called Factors Influencing Choice Riders for Using Park and Ride Facilities, a Case of Delhi, whose author is Aditya Manish Pitale. I hope you can learn something. An uninterrupted growth of vehicles on road has been a major concern in the urban areas of developing countries, leading to congestion and delay in travel time. Public transport provides accessibility and addresses the adverse effects of using private vehicles to some extent, but fails to attract private vehicle users. Park and Ride is one such facility that not only reduces the number of vehicles on road, but also attracts private vehicle users towards using public transport, and to do so, the PR should also be supported by the services that are important for users. This paper aims to determine the importance of different service factors to encourage choice riders towards using PR as a reliable and sustainable mode of travel compared to drive along. 3 analysis methods were used to identify the influencing factors, and the outcomes were further compared to determine the variation. The results show factor of cleanliness as most important to choice riders, followed by the safety at the PR. Choice riders prefer to have a better quality of service, while the cost of using a PR was of least importance. The procedure explained in this study can assist the decision-making authorities to prioritize and offer services that are actually required to attract choice riders. After the review of existing literature, it was essential to develop relevant tools to conduct the study. A questionnaire designed to collect the perception of choice riders, along with the attributes considered in the study, are explained in this section. The approach of collecting data and the different methods used to conduct the analysis are explained further. The first is questionnaire development. To identify the factors that were important to influence the choice riders towards PR, a detailed questionnaire was conceived. The designed questionnaire was classified into 3 major parts, with the first part focusing on the information related to the travel characteristics of the respondent, which included their preferred mode of travel, frequency of travel, nearest metro station to the origin as well as destination, and experience of PR. The second part emphasized on collecting the perceived importance of the considered factors for using PR on a 5-point scale. In the final part of the questionnaire, socio-demographic characteristics such as age group, gender, monthly household income, and vehicle ownership were collected. In order to select the factors essential for the target group, an extensive range of factors were listed related to the parking facilities, facilities of public transportation, and the services that primarily influence the use of PR. This extensive range of factors was used in the pilot survey, where 50 individuals were asked to state the factors important to them if they were to use PR, based on the responses obtained in the pilot survey and the context of the study. A total of 17 factors related to the PR were further considered. The second is data collection. A tablet-based face-to-face survey was conducted across different locations in the study area. Since the target group was the choice riders using private vehicles for their travel, the survey collected responses by approaching the target groups at parking facilities located near major destinations in the study area. Stratified random sampling approach was applied to collect the responses. The survey was conducted in March 2020 before the nationwide lockdown, due to the COVID-19 pandemic. A total of 422 respondents using private vehicles participated in the survey. Out of the total responses received in the survey, 19 of the respondents failed to complete the survey, which left a total of 403 complete responses. The value of Chromebook's alpha coefficient was witnessed to be 0.886, based on the information collected for the factors, directing a significant difference among the ratings of the factors. The third is methods for determining importance. There exists a wide range of techniques to determine the importance of the factors accounted for in this study. The multi-criteria decision-making methods are most commonly exercised by the researchers for obtaining answers to such problems. Firstly, GA, the theory of the gray system developed by Zhulong, 1989 analyses the systems with uncertain information. The gray system consists of gray prediction, gray decision, GRAY control, GA, and GRAY programming as their 5 major parts. A detailed course of action for GA appropriate for order editor analysis can be observed in detail from the literature mentioned above. Secondly, RIDE-IT. Bross introduced the RIDE-IT analysis to compare order scale responses and determine satisfaction or preference. The application of RIDE-IT analysis is extended to the behavior study, business management, and automobile accidents. Last, TOPSIS. The TOPSIS is a method of multi-attribute utility theory next to HP. In the number of reported applications, Huyn and Yoon developed this method as a substitute for the method of Elector. The outcomes received after performing the analysis, using different methods mentioned above, are discussed further in this section. The procedure explained by Satterton et al. 2015, for all the 3 methods, was harnessed as per the context of this study. This section also provides information related to the socio-demographic profile, along with the trip characteristics observed from the responses, the comparison of the results from all the 3 methods using Spearman rank correlation analysis. Further highlights the key factors that can make choice riders use PR, about the socio-demographic profile and trip characteristics. The profile the respondents exhibited indicates that the number of male respondents dominated the female respondents, which was similar to the study of Carr et al. A small fraction of respondents were having their age greater than 51 years, depicting that the senior citizens are less dependent on private vehicles compared to the other working age groups. While more than half of the respondents had their age between 18 to 30 years, only 10% of the respondents had their monthly household income of more than 100,000 rupees, while the remaining 90% was observed to be proportionately distributed among the remaining income groups. Approximately 25% of respondents have pursued their education till 12th or even less, while half of the respondents were graduated, and the rest were qualified as postgraduates or even above. A major proportion of the respondents were private employees, and almost a quarter of the respondents were having their own business. Looking at the vehicle ownership status, 15% of the respondents did not own any two-wheeler, while more than 60% had one two-wheeler. Similarly, 40% of the respondents did not own any car, while 47% of respondents had one car. Speaking about the trip characteristics, more than half of the respondents had traveled for their work purpose, while almost another quarter traveled for shopping. The use of two-wheeler was found to be the most favored mode of travel within the respondents, followed by car, and there even existed few respondents who used both the modes of travel. About the GA grades and derived rankings, the values of reference data series is considered as 5 in the initial step, since the rating of most important was provided for each considered factor by the either of the respondents on a 5-point scale. Subsequently, the values of 4 and 0 are observed to be the global maximum and global minimum respectively, which further assisted in computation of the Gray relation coefficient and Gray relation grade. Based on the importance rating provided by the respondents, it is found that the factors keep PR clean and well maintained, secure PR under surveillance, and have high frequency of metro, are of higher importance for choice riders to use PR. The first 2 factors show that the choice riders are more concerned with the facilities of parking lot provided for PR. The importance provided to the frequency of the metro suggests that the choice rider are willing to spend minimal time waiting for the ride. Furthermore, the respondents provided their least preference to get some additional provision at PR, which explains that the choice riders would like to view PR only as a facility for their travel, and not as another space for recreational activities. Next, RIDE-IT scores and derived rankings. The computed value of was 1101.31, which is significantly higher than the value of chi-square with 16 degrees of freedom, at a 0.05 significance level. This indicates that the responses provided by the respondents towards the considered factors for PR are statistically significantly different. The factor keep PR clean and well maintained is observed to be the most important factor, with a mean RIDE-IT of 0.54, which indicates that having a safe and hygiene facility makes the choice riders forego their private vehicles. About the TOPSIS scores and derived rankings, The difference in the level of importance, reflected in the data collection of each factor, is considered as the selection criteria of importance to a factor. Equal weights are given to all the levels of importance, considered to provide an equal opportunity for selection. The relative closeness to ideal solution of all the factors, along with their separation measures from positive ideal solution, as well as the separation measures from negative ideal solution, are indicated in table. Lastly, comparison of rankings from GOA, RIDE-IT, and TOPSIS. The rankings obtained from the different analysis methods are further compared to determine the variation in the rankings of the factors and identify the factors that can be important for choice riders to use PR. It can be seen that the rankings obtained from GOA, as well as RIDE-IT, are much similar, except for the factors get some additional provision. At PR and PR consume less cost than that of two-wheeler car, who swapped their rankings. On the contrary, when the rankings from GOA are paired with that of TOPSIS, a slight variation is observed in the rankings of the factors. Similarly, some variation in the rankings between RIDE-IT and TOPSIS is also observed. The rankings obtained from the three different analyses represents an immense similarity in the obtained ranking of factors. Thus, the results can justify the hierarchy of the factors necessary for choice riders to use the PR. A Spearman rank correlation analysis is performed to check the correlation between the ranks computed. The Spearman rank correlation coefficient comparing the rankings from GOA in RIDE-IT is found to be 0.998, with a 0.01 level of significance. Similarly, the coefficient comparing the rankings from RIDE-IT and TOPSIS is 0.958, while the coefficient comparing the rankings from GOA and TOPSIS is 0.951, with a significance level of 0.01 each. Thus, it can be stated that the rankings obtained from the three methods of analysis have a strong positive association with each other. This strong association also states that the choice riders provide a clear hierarchy of the factors vital for them to use PR. The present study focused to identify the prominent factors for choice riders that can influence them to use PR as an alternative to private vehicle trips. Higher importance is granted to have a clean and well-maintained PR with an assurance of safety, as well as to have frequent and punctual metro service. The choice riders, in the present context, have given higher prominence to the qualitative factors than quantitative factors such as cost and time, which is different than the results obtained by Boss et al. This implies that people using their private vehicles are attracted to the PR only if they experience a service close to their experience with the private vehicles. The results of this study justify that choice riders would like to prefer a better facility. Rather than looking for a cost-effective option, the respondents would prefer to use PR if they are provided with a clean and secured environment. The findings from the different methods of analysis considered in the study are similar and consistent. The Spearman rank correlation analysis performed between the ranks obtained from three methods suggested a strong positive correlation, which indicates that the choice riders are clear about their needs if they wish to use PR. The correlation coefficients of RIDE-IT with the other two methods is comparatively higher, justifying that the ranking of the factors obtained from the RIDE-IT analysis can provide better results, and also complements the results of Sadek et al. The outcome of this study not only presents the important factors related to the design of PR, as preferred by the users, but also assists in prioritizing the provision of services to attract maximum choice riders towards a comparatively more sustainable travel option. The concerned authorities of developing countries can consider PR as an emerging alternative to reduce the congestion of cities by understanding the perception of their citizens. Considering the perception will help the concerned authorities in the decision-making process to select factors important for users while designing a PR and to utilize their limited resources efficiently to maximize the shift towards its usage. The obtained results from this study can further support in designing a choice experiment to understand the willingness to pay of the choice riders towards the development of a new PR or improvement of the existing facility or the part thereof. However, the findings of this study are limited to the case of Delhi. but the approach adopted in this study can be used in developing countries, especially the ones where the concept of peer is new, and have a scope for successful development with necessary changes, as per the context of the study area.